everything in the world has these three qualities, guna, which are three qualities, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. In the human being, it's easiest to understand because tamasic tendencies means I'm lazy. Tamasic is I don't get out of bed, I just lazy, I don't feel like shaving, I don't feel like getting,
I don't want to do anything. Yeah.
very indolent. Second, which most of us are, majority of, rajasic. Rajasic meaning active, always looking for something, a goal, something to achieve, what to do. And the third is sattvic. And the description of sattvic is the thoughts of a sattvic person are balanced, serene, objective, clean, pure, and in equanimity.
They are Brahmins.
They're Brahmins, that's right. Such a person is mature, thinks deeply, contemplates, he is detached from the excitement of the world and involvement with the world. He doesn't look at what he's going to get from the fruit of the action, but actually says, I'm going to do this because it ought to be done. Mm-hmm. That's a sattvic person.
Right.
Now, in nature, you will see that the sattvic period, each of us, our qualities, I have some sattvic qualities, maybe not too many. I have some rajasic qualities, a lot, and I have some tamasic qualities.
And I imagine this is a balance that shifts throughout the day and throughout your life.
Beautiful.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful. So when am I most tamasic? When am I most indolent and just want to sleep and be lazy and indulge in things? In the evening, after the sun goes down. Mm-hmm. So let's assume the sun goes down at 6 p.m. Immediately thereafter, I say, I had enough work. I don't feel like working anymore.
Right.
You know, I want to go home. I want to turn on the TV. I want to put my feet up. I want to drink.
Sure.
I want, though that continues through the night. And it ends, that tamasic phase, which is the greatest for all of us, around 3 a.m. And around 4 a.m., just a little before sunrise, an hour or two before sunrise, is when the sattvic tendencies start to arise. Mm-hmm. So even the casinos will basically say we shut down for cleaning between, say, 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. And you say, why? And you say, we did studies, and between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. is the least crowded time.
Yeah.
They explain it that people go to sleep. But really, a lot of people, you say, here's a drink. Even to an alcoholic, you say, here's a drink at 4 a.m. He said, nah, not right now, maybe later. But between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. is when the short window of a sattvic period. That's when you can contemplate. That's when you can think properly. You can study.
Right.
So the olden days, they used to say, early to bed, early to rise, makes a person healthy, wealthy, wise. Right? You've heard that?
Because you're up during that period.
You're up during that period. Mm-hmm. It's a sattvic period. You're using that. Even those who start to use that contemplation and sattvic period between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., by 6 a.m., mind starts to wander. It says, I gotta get to work.
Yeah.
This guy's going to call me. This is going to happen. What happens if this negotiation starts? My boss, those kind of things start happening. The rajas is starting to take over. By 6 a.m., you're active. You want to do, you want to move, you want to think about the future. You want to look, what is the profit? What is the loss? That kind of thing. So
the gross intellect takes over.
The gross intellect takes over. So that's probably all I want to say right now. There's a lot that I have in terms of talking about what you ought to do without a selfish attachment or anxiety, but we can leave that for another.